Show me OBS. Hello boys and girls, a very good evening and welcome to yet another live session for your upcoming IBPS PO exam brought to you by TalentSprint. And today's discussion is on a very interesting and at the same time a very simple topic on ages, right? Now problems on ages are common in bank exams and many other competitive exams. What is not common is the way we solve it, right? It is definitely an easy topic. Simple ways to solve questions. You just have to frame the equations properly and work on those equations to arrive at the answer. But what most of us do not understand is you can actually mark the right answer even without putting pen on paper or even without having to deal with any of those equations. So that's what we're going to focus on in this discussion today, right? Questions usually are easy to solve. Nothing complex about problems on ages. And videos on this topic are already available on our YouTube channel, so please follow those videos if you are not clear with the basic concepts. I think the only thing that you must understand beforehand is that X years hence, this is a common phrase used, right? X years hence, or 5 years hence, 4 years hence, means after 5 years or after 4 years or after X years, and X years ago is before X years. I mean, that's simple. So just keep this in mind, that hence means henceforth, right? I mean after 4 years, and ago would mean 4 years ago, right? 4 years back. So that's the only terminology I think that you must know to solve these questions. So let's get started. By the way, let me also remind you that these questions that we're going to solve are also going to be helpful for your IBPS clerks preparation, right? You know that the notification has been released. I'm sure all of you are already in the process of applying for that exam, or maybe you have already completed that application process. So whatever we discuss in this session today and the other sessions that we're doing is going to help in both the exams, right? Or in all such competitive exams. Weightage usually is not much. You can expect 1 or 2 questions at best, or maybe sometimes 0. But the knowledge that we have, or the technique that we learn based on ratios here, is going to help in other topics as well. So let's get started with the first question, which is on your screens now. Read what it says. It's talking about 2 girls, Ranjana and Rakhi. So the ages of Ranjana and Rakhi are in the ratio of 15:17 respectively. After 6 years, the ratio of their ages will be 9:10. What will be the age of Ranjana after 6 years? Now, many of you might be thinking that this is a sitter. Why are we even discussing this question? We know how to solve it. Yes, I also know that we all know how to solve this. But let's look at the solution once. So ages of Ranjana and Rakhi. Let's say RJ and RK, right? Ranjana and Rakhi, their current ages. Ranjana and Rakhi are in what ratio? 15:17, 15/17. So you can actually say this is like 15x and 17x, right? 15 parts and 17 parts. If you add their ages, Ranjana will get 15 parts out of that, and Rakhi would get 17 parts. After 6 years, the ratio of their ages will be 9:10. Now understand, if Ranjana's present age is 15x, what will be her age after 6 years? 15x plus 6. And if Rakhi's present age is 17x, what will be her age after 6 years? It will be 17x plus 6. So the next statement here tells us that after 6 years, the ratio of their ages. After 6 years, the ratio of their ages is going to be 15x plus 6 is to 17x plus 6. This should be equated to 9:10. This is going to be 9:10. That's it. There ends the matter. One equation and one variable, right? X is the variable. Solve for this variable and then you can answer the question, right? Whatever it could be. It could be Ranjana's present age, Rakhi's present age, or in this case it is Ranjana's age after 6 years and so on. So let's solve for it, right? So cross multiply, right? Cross multiplication is the solution. So what do we get? 150x plus 60 is 917 is how much? 170 minus 17, 153x, and 9 into 6 is 54. So when you solve, what do we get? 3x is equal to 6 or x is equal to 2. Right? 3x is 6, x is equal to 2. That's it. X is equal to 2. Now what do we want? We want Ranjana's age after 6 years. See, we have already looked at this, right? Ranjana's age after 6 years is going to be 15x plus 6. Ranjana's present age is 15x. After 6 years is going to be 15x plus 6. So 15x plus 6 is equal to what? X is equal to 2. Substitute. So 15 into 2, 30. 30 plus 6, 36. Answer should be 36 years. Option D. Option D, 36 years is the correct answer, right? Very simple. It could also ask you to find out Rakhi's age after 6 years, or before 6 years, or after 10 years, or whatever it could be. and that's the solution. But now let's see how do we arrive at the answer for the same question without using pen and paper. Some of you or many of you might already be aware of this technique, but for those who are not, this is going to be a game changer method, right? Just look at this. Forget about all these calculations that we have done. I'm changing the color of my pen to differentiate between the two types of solutions. Yeah. Forget about all this that we have done here, right? Not required. What does it say? Ranjana, the ages of Ranjana and Rakhi are in the ratio of 15:7. After 6 years, the ratio of their ages will be 9:10. What will be the age of Ranjana after 6 years? Now, the one challenge that I already see in the question is option 5 is none of this. If option 5 or option E is not none of these, if it is a numerical value, then the method that we are going to discuss now is definitely the best method to solve such questions. Here it can be a kind of confusion. It can lead us to some confusion whether option E can also be the answer or not. Anyways, keeping that aside, let's see how do we solve this question. So we know that Ranjana and Rakhi's current ages are in the ratio of 15:17. After 6 years, the ratio of their ages will be 9:10. What will be the age of Ranjana after 6 years? So basically, we actually want to find out Ranjana's age after 6 years. Ranjana's age after 6 years. From the ratio, I already know that after 6 years, the ratio of their ages is 9:10. So can I say Ranjana's age after 6 years should be a multiple of 9? Yes or no? Ranjana's age after 6 years should be a multiple of 9. If I have to look at this ratio, it is 9y by 10y, right? 15x plus 6 divided by 17x plus 6. Ranjana's age after 6 years, Rakhi's age after 6 years, 9:10. So I know that Ranjana's age after 6 years has to be a multiple of 9. Look at the options. He's asking us to find out the same thing, right? Ranjana's age after 6 years. Is option A a multiple of 9? No. How can this be the answer? Is option B a multiple of 9? No. How can this be the answer? Is option C a multiple of 9? No. How can this be the answer? Is option D a multiple of 9? Yes. 36 years. Maybe this is the answer. You cannot jump to it immediately. You cannot conclude that D is the answer. It might be the correct answer. Now the challenge is option 5 is none of this. Now suppose if option 5 instead of none of this were, let's say 42 years. It would be very easy, right? Is option 5 a multiple of 9? No, right? We know that Ranjana's age after 6 years should be a multiple of 9. 42 is not a multiple of 9. So even this is eliminated. So I am not sure whether 36 is the right answer or not. I don't know about that. But I am 100% sure that A, B, C and E are the wrong answers. A, B, C, E are the wrong answers. So the left out one has to be the correct answer. Yeah. But anyways, that doesn't work in this problem since option 5 is not a numerical value. It's none of this. So how do you deal with it? Let's verify. Already you have understood that A, B, C are wrong. Now is 36 really the right answer or not? We can easily check this. How do we check this? See, there are other clues given in the question, right? Try and use that. If Ranjana's age after 6 years is considered to be 36, meaning 9 parts is 36, 9x is equal to 36. 9x is equal to 36 or 9y equals to 36 or 9n equals to 36, whatever it is, right? So what will be the value of each part? 4. Each part is 4. So what should be Rakhi's age after 6 years? 40 years. So basically this 9:10 now becomes 36 years and 40 years. Actual values. We know the actual values. 36 years and 40 years. Yes or no? 9 and 10 have become, 9 and 10 were the ratio. 9:10 was the ratio. But the real values are 36 and 40. Now these are the ages after 6 years, right? These are the ages after 6 years. So what should be the ages currently? Subtract 6 years from both of them. What should be the current ages? 36 minus 6, 30 years. 40 minus 6, 34 years. Yes or no? This 36 and 40 are the ages after 6 years. If I subtract 6 from both, I get 30 and 34. 36 minus 6, 30. 40 minus 6, 34. Now, what's the ratio between 30 and 34? 15:17. Yes or no? Both are divisible by 2. 15 into 2, 17 into 2. 15:17. And is that what is given in the question? Yes. 15:17. So that is, does it satisfy the other conditions given in the question? It does. Option D is the answer. So even if fifth option is none of this, you can verify the other things to make sure if D is the right answer or not. But yeah, it will be easier if fifth option is also a numerical value and you could eliminate it quickly, right? So the point I'm trying to make, guys, is while ages is a very simple topic, it can be made simpler by avoiding paperwork, right? Just play with those ratios. Most of the questions can be answered based on that logic. Yeah. And it is not just with respect to ages, right? Any question which deals with ratios, where you're dealing with ratios, you can do this type of verification. Okay, let's now move on to the next question. A different one this time on your screens now. Present average age of a couple is 29 years. After 2 years and 4 years respectively, a boy child and a girl child is born. Find the average age of the family after 8 years of present time. Now this is an interesting question. Present age of a couple, husband and wife, is 29 years. Now from the basic, I'll tell you how to solve this. Very, very simple. If the present age of the couple is 29 years, average age of the couple is 29 years. Can I assume that husband is 29 and wife is also 29? Yes. Nothing wrong. Actual ages may vary. Actual values could be different, right? Husband could be 30, wife could be 28. Husband could be 31, wife could be 27. Or let's say husband is 40 and then wife would be 29 is the average, right? So 29 would mean 58. So husband is 40, wife is 18. Even that would give you the same average, 29. But the point is, right? If all the values are equal, the average is also going to be the same value. I mean, if all are equal, like what is the average of 3, 3 and 3? It's 3. What is the average of 47, 47 and 47? It's 47. So if all are equal, then the average is also equal. So we can assume that in this case. So he says the average age of a couple is 29 years. I'll say husband's age is 29. Wife's age is also 29. Average anyways is 29. Now look at what it says. These are present ages, right? Now try to understand. He is asking us to get the average age of the family after 8 years of present time. After 8 years of present time. So can you tell me what will be the husband's age after 8 years? If presently he's 29, after 8 years he would be 37. What will be wife's age after 8 years? W dash, let's say. Same, 37. Yes or no? Now come back to the present time, right? He says after 2 years and after 4 years, a boy child and a girl child is born. See, now I want to know the age of this boy child and girl child after 8 years from present time, right? After 8 years of present time. See, the boy child was born after 2 years. Let's say we are in, just to give you an example, it's very easy to calculate. You just have to take 8 years minus 2 years. The boy child's age will be 6 years and girl's child age will be 4 years. But how do you estimate that? See, currently we are in 2019. Let's say this is the present time. After 2 years, the boy child was born. So boy child was born in 2021. He's asking us to get the average of the family after 8 years. See, this is the present time. This is the present time, right? This is after 2 years, right? What will be the year after 8 years? Which year will be in after 8 years? 2019 would be 2027. The boy was born in 2021. What will be his age in 2027? 6 years, right? That's what we're doing here, 6 years. Likewise, the girl was born after 4 years, but you want to go forward to a time 8 years from now. So somebody who will be born after 4 years, his age after 8 years from today will be 4 years. 8 minus 4. That's it. So you know all the 4 values. Get the average. You're done. He's asking us to get the average of the family after 8 years of present time. 37 and 37 is 74. 74 and 10 is 84. 84 upon 4. 84 by 4. 21 years. Option D will be the answer. I think explanation is taking so much of time. You do it yourself. It's going to be a cakewalk, right? Present ages, so of husband and wife, 29, 29. After 8 years will be 37, 37. Boy will be 6 years. Girl will be 4 years. Get the average. Okay, next question. A very common question type from ages. I would say obsolete these days. We don't get this format these days, but you never know. Tomorrow's exam, the next exam, you may get a question on this format, right? Here we go. Average age of a class of 15 students is 18 years. After admission of 5 new students, the average age of the class decreases by 0.25. Find the average age of the 5 new students. Try this. Average age of 15 students. There are 15 students in a class. Their average age is 18 years. After admission of 5 new students, the average age of the class decreases by 0.25. So what is 18 years becomes 17.75. Find the average of the 5 new students. Now let me first explain you the regular method of solving this question, like the most of you guys would follow, right? Average age of 15 students. Average of 15 students is 18 years. Right? 18 years. So what will be the total of these 15 students? Total age of these 15 students, total age will be 15 into 18. Whatever that number is, 270 years. Yeah? 270 years. After admission of 5 new students, the average age of the class decreases by 0.25. Meaning the average age of 20 students is how much? 18 minus 0.25. It decreases by 0.25. 18 minus 0.25, which is 17.75. Right? What will be the total of these 20 students? Total age of these 20 students? You know what is total, right? Total is number of students into the average value. So number of students 15 into 18. Number of students 20 into 17.75. So 20 times of 17.75. You getting it? How much is this? Are you able to follow? Average of 15 students is 18 years. So the total of those 15 students is 18 times 15, which is 270. Average of 20 students, he says, decreases by 0.25. So 18 minus 0.25 is 17.75. So what will be the total of these 20 students? 20 times of 17.75. How much is 20 times 17.75? See, 20 times 18, 360 minus 20 times 0.25 is 5. So 355. Yes or no? Next he says, find the average age of 5 new students. Now the point is, we know that the sum of the ages of 15 students is 270 years. The sum of the ages of these 20 students is 355 years. So can you tell what is the sum of the ages of 5 new students? Sum of 5 new students. The sum of 5 new students is going to be 355 minus 270, which is how much? 85. So I have now figured out that from this total of 20, when I subtract the total of 15, I'll get the difference, which is 85. And this 85 represents what? The sum of the ages of 5 new students, or the total of 5 new students. But what do we want? We want the average of 5 new students. So what is the average of 5 new students? Average should be what? Sum by number of students. 85 by 5, which is 17. So 17 years, option B is the answer. Right? Good. 17 years, option B is the answer to this question. Now, while this is a correct solution, in my view, it makes no sense to do all this drama in the exam. Are you able to follow? It's a correct solution. 17 years should be the answer. You just have to find out the sum of 15 students, sum of the ages of 15 students, then get the sum of the ages of 20 students. Then the difference will give you the sum of the ages of 5 new students. And once you know the sum, you can find out the average. However, this would take, if not more, at least 30 seconds in the exam, right? There are like 3-4 calculations involved. So how do we avoid this? How can this question be answered without having to do any paperwork? Simple. By the way, this question is not on ages. It's actually a question on averages, right? This is not age. I mean, it's in the context of age, but the actual concept that we're using is from the topic of average. Now, if you have watched our basic videos on average, the one thing that we have all learned through those videos is that average is not this sum of all the values by number of values or sum of all the observations by number of observations. No, that's a formula. But our understanding of average is what? Average is an equal distribution. When I say the average age of 15 students is 18 years, mentally you should understand that if I collect all the ages, now you can't technically collect the ages, but the idea is if you sum all the ages and try to distribute equally among all the 15 students, each guy will get 18 years. A better example would be money. Average amount of money with 15 students is, let's say, 18 rupees. What does it mean? Does it mean that every student has 18 rupees? No. Each student might have a different number, right? Some will have 18 rupees, some might have 20 rupees, some will have 15 rupees, some may have 50 rupees. You never know. But if I collect all the money available with this 15 students, and then I divide it equally among all of them, each person gets 18 rupees. That's what is average. Average basically is an equal distribution. Now, there are certain rules that we have discussed in our videos, right, with regards to this equal distribution. Now, you know that, if each value in a set of values is increased by x, average also increases by x. If each value is decreased by x, average decreases by x. If each value is multiplied by x, average gets multiplied by x. If each value is divided by x, the average also gets divided by x. Yes or no? So anything that you do with each of the observations, the same impact can be seen on the average as well. So you don't really have to do anything. Like for example, if I say average age of 15 students is 18 years, and then if I say each student's age is increased by 2 years, what's the new average? You don't have to put pen on paper. Everything is increasing by 2 years. Average also would shoot up by 2 years. So 18 years will become 20 years, right? That's the idea. Another important point to be understood is when there is a set of values where the average is 18 years, if you add a new value to this set, which is equal to 18, it won't impact the average. Yes or no? Will it impact the average? No, it wouldn't. Why? The idea is everybody should have 18. As long as that is satisfied, my average would remain the same. Everyone should have 18 rupees. Already the 15 students have 18 rupees. Each of these 15 students have got 18 rupees. If a new student joins the group with 18 rupees, he's not disturbing the equation there, right? He's not disturbing the dynamics. The dynamics of the group would change if this new person has got more than 18 or less than 18. Suddenly, let's say a new person joins the group with 36 rupees or 30 rupees or 100 rupees. What happens? Everybody in the group is settled with 18 and a new person comes with 100. He does not fit this bill. He doesn't fit this bill, right? Because here you're allowed only if you've got 18 rupees with you, right? It's no more an equal distribution. Go by that concept, right? Equal distribution. If you have somebody with 100 rupees, it's not an equal distribution anymore. So it has to be distributed equally. It has to be distributed equally. So what can we do in that case? 15 students with 18 rupees each. A new student has come. Let's say he has got 32 rupees or 30 rupees, for example. 30 rupees, for example, right? What do? You say, boss, if you want to be a part of this group, you should have only 18 rupees. So take 18 rupees, give that 12 rupees to me. Let's say I'm the referee. I'm managing this group, right? I'll say, give that extra 12 rupees that you have, right? You've already got 30 rupees. From that, take 18, get into the class. So that you are allowed in the group, right? Group is okay if you have got 18 rupees. The extra 12 rupees you have, give it to me. Now what will I do? I cannot give this 12 rupees to this person, although it belongs to him. I cannot give it to him because that will disturb the whole system. I would divide this 12 rupees equally among all of them. Now how many are there in the group? 16 guys. 15 were already there. A new person has joined. So total is 16. Now these 16 guys should get an equal share in this extra 12 rupees that I have. So each person will get, let's say, 0.75 rupees. So they already have 18 each. Now I'm giving 0.75 to each one of them. Average will now become 18 plus 0.75, 18.75. Very simple, because we have already learned that if each value increases by x, average increases by x. I have increased every value by 0.75 here. Average also would go by 0.75. So 18 becomes 18.75. Likewise, let's say the guy comes with lesser amount, right? He's come with only 10 rupees. What happens in that case? He's got 10 rupees. Already there are 15 guys with 18 rupees average. Equally distributed is 18 rupees. Now this person has got only 10 rupees. I cannot allow him in the group. Right? I can allow him in the group only if he has got 18 rupees. So what do? I'll say, okay, take 8 rupees from my side. You take 8 rupees from my side, get your share equal to 18, and now join the group. Okay, he's joined the group, but there is a problem. I have lost 8 rupees. Why should I lose my money? Right? I have lost 8 rupees. I should get that 8 rupees back. Back from whom? Actually from that person. But in this context, since I am looking at an equal distribution, I'll say, boss, each one of you contribute equally and give me 8 rupees. I have given 8 rupees to the group. I have given to one person, but it's gone into the group. I want my 8 rupees back. Now, if I want my 8 rupees back, 8 should be divided equally among all 16 persons in the group. So each person will give me 50 paisa. 8 by 16 is half a rupee. Everybody gives me 50 paisa. Yes? 15 guys are already there. A 16 person has joined with only 8 rupees or 10 rupees. So I said, okay, take 8 rupees from my side, join the group. But I want my 8 rupees back. I'll penalize everyone equally. Yeah? It is because of this fellow that everybody has to lose. See, in the real scenario, they're not losing. Everyone will have their own share, but average is what we're looking at, right? So I'll say I want 8 rupees from the entire group. So 8 rupees divided by 16 persons. Each person will give me half rupee, 50 paisa. So everybody gives me 50 paisa. 16 persons giving me 50 paisa each. I get my 8 rupees back. And everyone there has lost 50 paisa. Again, go back to that concept. If each person or each value is decreased by x, average decreases by x. Every value here has reduced by 0.5. So average will also reduce by 0.5. So what was the average earlier? 18. The new average, when this person comes with 10 rupees, becomes 17.5. That's it. That's the concept. Now, it could be one person. Sometimes to make the questions complex, they may say there are 4 persons who have joined the group. So you have to deal with 4 values, or 2 persons have joined the group. But the idea is the same. It's an equal distribution concept. You should, anything that you do it distributed equally. Whether you have more or less, distribute equally. If you have more, distribute equally. If you have less, charge everyone equally. Right? You will be very, very comfortable in answering questions on average if you are clear with this concept of equal distribution. Now come back to this question. What did it say? Instead of doing all this drama in the exam, you can just play with these numbers, right? Average of 15 students is 18 years. There were 5 new students who joined this group. Right? 5 new students who joined this group. Now, if these 5 students, understand, if all these 5 students had come with 18 years of age, I wouldn't have any problem. The average will remain 18 only. But what happened? There were already 15 guys. S1, S2, S3 and so on up to S15. Right? There were already 15 students S1 to S15 in this group. Now 5 more students have come, S16, S17 and so on up to S20. The average of these guys was 18. The average of all these guys together is 17.75. It reduces by 0.5. So the same concept again, right? If everybody here had come with, let's say, 18 rupees, the average will remain 18 only, but the average has dropped by 0.25. Which means it's clear that this 5 guys together came with a lesser amount. How much less? How much less did they come with? It's simple. See, understand. After these 5 guys joined the group, the impact was how much? 0.25. Meaning everybody lost 0.25. Everybody lost 0.25. So what's the total loss? 0.25 into 20. What is 0.25 into 20? 5. You're able to follow? When these 5 guys joined, the total loss of the group was how much? If they had joined with 18 each, they would not have been any loss. They joined with something less. Every person lost 0.25 because average becomes 17.75, right? I mean, don't even worry about this. Average reduced by 0.25, right? So every person in the group lost 0.25, including these 5 persons. So 0.25 times 20. There are 20 persons in the group now, new group now. 5 years were lost. 5 years were lost. I have understood that the group lost 5 years. Now, whom do you think this 5 years were lost because of? Who is responsible for this? This new person who is joining. For the sake of understanding, let's assume only one new person is joining. 5 years is lost because of this person, meaning this person came with 5 years less, and that entire group had to bear this loss. He should have come with 18. Our understanding was what? He should have come with 18, but he came with 5 years less. So his age is 13 years. Yes or no? But in this case, we have got 5 new persons joining together. Now, this 5 years that the group has lost collectively is a loss because of whom? Because of these 5 guys. They should have actually come with an average of 18. They came with 5 years less. Now, divide this loss of 5 in these new 5 persons. If there were only one person, no problem. 18 minus 5 you could do. But 5 persons, right? So divide 5 years among 5 persons. Each person was 1 year less than what was expected. What was expected? 18 years was expected. Each person came with 1 year less. So 5 new persons together came with 5 years less. And the entire group of 20 persons had to bear this loss. But the question is, what is the average age of these new 5 persons, right? Find the average age of 5 new students. What is the average age of 5 new students? They came with 17 each, right? Instead of 18, they came with 1 year less each. So 17. Which means the average is 17 years. And that's your answer. 17 years, option B. Explanation has taken time. I understand that. But you're not going to spend so much time in the exam doing all this, right? You just have to play with that difference. Understand the difference. How much is the difference? It could be positive or negative. And who has caused this? Attribute that value to that person. We get the answer. Could be one person, can be a group of persons. As simple as that. So this idea of equal distribution is very, very useful while solving questions on, average. All right. Moving on. And I mean, I'm sure you should have followed this. If not, there are videos available. Other videos are also available. Basic videos explaining this technique and this concept. You can just follow that. Even if you don't know this, there is this regular solution available. It is lengthy in my view. The only problem is it's a little lengthy. While this could take about 8-10 seconds for you to do that understanding mentally and get the answer, the other solution would take about 25-30 seconds. So it's up to you, but very, very useful. Now let's move on to the next question, right? Next question on your screens now. Try this. What does it say? The sum of the ages of A, B, C is 96 years, right? Sum of the ages is 96 years. 2 years hence, the ratio between the ages of A and B will be 5:7, and the ratio between C's age 1 year before and B's age 1 year after, or B's age after 1 year, will be 17:9. Find A's age after 8 years. Now, I'll first quickly give you the equations that you have to use, but then we will see if we really need to use those equations. What will be the equations? If you write the equations properly, the solution is done. After that, it's only about solving those equations, which I'm sure all of you know how to deal with, right? So sum of the ages of A, B, C is 96 years, meaning A plus B plus C is equal to 96. That's equation 1. 2 years hence, meaning after 2 years, the ratio between ages of A and B will be 5:7, meaning A plus 2 by B plus 2 equals to 5/7. That's equation number 2. And the ratio between C's age 1 year before and B's age after 1 year will be 17:9. C minus 1 and B plus 1 is equal to 17/9. You get this? These are the 3 equations given to us. Now 3 variables A, B, C and 3 equations, you know you can solve it. So basically the problem is solvable. You can solve it very easily. 3 equations. Sum is given after 2 years ratio of A and B, and 1 year before C's age 1 year before, B's age after 1 year, the ratio is 17:9. What is he asking us to find out? Find A's age after 8 years. Find A's age after 8 years. So either you solve all these equations, or solve these equations. You can do it anyway. Let me give you the smart method now. Find A's age after 8 years. What will be A's age after 8 years? Let's see if we can eliminate options. It will be great if we can eliminate 4 of these options, so that we are left with only one choice. So A's age after 8 years. Now I can't really comment about A's age after 8 years, but what I know is A's age after 2 years should be a multiple of 5. What do I know? A's age after 2 years. See, A plus 2 is 5x. B plus 2 is 7x. A's age after 2 years should be a multiple of 5. A's age after 2 years should be a multiple of 5. The problem is all the options here are equivalent to A plus 8, because that's what is required. The question is asking us to get A plus 8, A's age after 8 years. So all the options are A plus 8 in the form of A plus 8. So A plus 8 is 26 according to option A. A plus 8 is 32 according to option B. A plus 8 is 18 according to option C, and so on. But then you know that A plus 2 should be a multiple of 5. How do you get A plus 2 from A plus 8? Subtract 6 minus 6. That will give me A plus 2. And I want to check if A plus 2 is a multiple of 5 or not, based on this concept, based on this ratio. Verify that. So basically what I'm saying is, from each option subtract 6. Subtract 6 from each of these options. If you subtract 6, this A plus 8 options will become equivalent to A plus 2. All the options currently are in the form of A plus 8. I want the options to be in the form of A plus 2. I'll subtract 6. So 26 becomes 20, 32 becomes 26, 18 becomes 12, 28 becomes 22, 16 becomes 10. And these new values that we have written are equivalent to A plus 2, which have to be a multiple of 5. Is option A a multiple of 5? Yes. So this is a probable answer. Is option B 26 a multiple of 5? No. So B cannot be the answer. Is option C 12 a multiple of 5? No. So C cannot be the answer. Is option D 22 a multiple of 5? No. So D cannot be the answer. Is option E 10 a multiple of 5? Yes. Now, unfortunately, here there are 2 options left, but if you are lucky, fortunate enough, and let's say 4 options get eliminated, then you don't have to deal with the equations at all, right? Are we solving the equations? No. The only clue that we have picked up is A plus 2 should be a multiple of 5. But 2 options are left, 26 and 16. Actually 26 is A's age 8 years after, and 16 is A's age 8 years later, right? But 20 and 10 are their ages 2 years later, respectively. Now what do we do? Now how do we identify which is correct? How do we check whether A is correct or E is correct? Simple. Pick either A or E. and verify the remaining conditions. There are other conditions also, right? There are other conditions also here. So check which one is satisfying the other conditions. I mean, if A satisfies all the conditions, then A itself is the answer. If it doesn't satisfy any of the conditions, then we can conclude E is the answer. Or you can do the other way around also, right? Pick up E, assume E is correct. Assume E is correct. Based on that, find out B, C and all that. If it is satisfying the given conditions, 3 conditions, E is the answer. If it doesn't satisfy, then A is the answer. For example, let's assume, for a minute, let's assume E is correct. Option E is correct. According to option E, A plus 8 is 16. Which means present age of A is 8. Yeah? Or according to option E, I mean, you don't have to write steps on paper, just trying to explain this to you. This is A plus 8, 16. So what is A plus 2? A plus 2 is how much? 10. So A plus 2, meaning this is 10. This is 10. 5 parts is 10. If 5 parts is 10, each part is equal to 2. So 7 parts would be equal to 14, which means B plus 2 is equal to 14. Implies B plus 2 is 14. You're getting it? We are going by option E. I am going by option E. According to option E, A plus 2 is 10. Option E says A plus 8 is 16. So A plus 2 is 10. A plus 2 by B plus 2 should be in the ratio of 5:7. So if 10 is giving 5, what will give 7? 14. Meaning B plus 2 will be 14. B plus 2 should be equivalent to 14. Meaning B's age after 2 years is 14. So what is B's present age? 12. B's age after 2 years is 14. That's it, right? B's age after 2 years is 14. If B after 2 years is 14, B's present age will be what? B's present age will be 12. And what should be B's age after 1 year? According to this ratio, B's age after 1 year should be a multiple of 9. What is B's age after 1 year? 13. Is 13 a multiple of 9? No. Hence option E is eliminated. So option A has to be the correct answer. You're getting it? I know what is A plus 2 from option E. From that I can evaluate what is B plus 2, since the ratio of A plus 2 and B plus 2 is given. If B plus 2 is 14, B plus 1 will be 13. But according to the ratio, another condition, B plus 1 has to be a multiple of 9. And I know that 13 is not a multiple of 9. Hence option E is wrong. Option A has to be the answer. So option A is correct. If you do it the other way around, if you start with option A, maybe all the conditions would satisfy. Then you can conclude that A itself is the answer. So that's the power of elimination, right? You should know where to use elimination, importantly, right? It kind of gets a little tricky when there is fifth option in the form of none of these, but otherwise it's a very useful technique. So what are we learning here? We have understood that you don't really have to solve the equations. Just pick up clues and map it very quickly. Of course, you need to be good in numbers. You have to be very quick in numbers to be able to do that, right? Let's move on. Interesting question on your screen now. Sakshi married 6 years ago. Today her age is 5/4 times her age at the time of her marriage, and her son's is 1/5 of her age. Find the ratio of Sakshi's age to her son's age after 10 years. Interesting question, right? What do you do? What does it say? Sakshi married 6 years ago. Today her age is 5/4 times her age at the time of her marriage. Now this is the most important equation. If you can write a proper equation for this sentence, you are done. Let's assume today her age is S. Her present age is S. She got married 6 years ago. So what was her age at the time of marriage? S minus 6. So we are dealing with two variables here, S and S minus 6. Actually only one, because both are in terms of S. But then the idea is, Sakshi's present age is S. I know that she got married 6 years ago. So 6 years ago her age was S minus 6. It was S minus 6. Now look at the statement. Today her age is, which means S is equal to 5/4 of 5/4 times her age at the time of her marriage. Age at the time of marriage is S minus 6. Only one equation, one variable. Can you not solve for S? Very easy. Solve for S. Solve for S. Solve for S. Now what happens? 4S and 5S. So S equals to 30. S is equal to 30. That's it. S is 30. What else he says? Her son's age is 1/5 of her age. Son's age. What will be son's age? 1/5 of S. S by 5, which is 6. Now, Sakshi's present age is 30. Her son's present age is 6 years. Yes or no? Technically, this seems to be incorrect because she got married 6 years ago. If she's got married 6 years ago, today her son's age cannot be 6 years, right? He should be less than 6 years. 5 years. 5 years, 3 months at best. But yeah, seems like something so she gave birth, let's assume she gave birth immediately after marriage. So her son is 6 years old. Anyway, irrespective of those commonly known facts, we need to answer this question. So Sakshi's age is 30 years, her son's age is 6 years. What is the ratio of Sakshi's age to her son's age after 10 years? Current ages are 30 and 6. After 10 years age, it will be 40 and 16. What is the ratio of 40 and 16? 5 is to 2. 8 into 5, 8 into 2. 5 is to 2 is there. Option B. Option B is the answer. Yeah, I kind of got stuck there for a few seconds because I was wondering how does this map. She got married 6 years ago. Son today is 6 years old. It didn't fit the requirements. But anyway, forget about what should happen. 30 and 6 are the values. Ratio after 10 years. So 40 and 16. 40 and 16 will be 5 is to 2. Okay? 5 is to 2. Option B is the answer. Moving on. Shall we take the next question? I think all are similar questions. Just play with those numbers. I mean, this is like a very easy sail, right? In a breeze, you can enjoy and answer these questions. Okay, let me put the next one. Let me find something interesting. I mean, there are many questions, but I'm sure most of these questions can be answered now that you have understood this idea of ratios. You can answer it easily. Try this. Present age of Manish and his daughter Swati are in the ratio of 9:2 respectively. Manish's wife Richa is 3 years younger than him, and 2 years hence the ratio between ages of Richa and Swati will be 7:2 respectively. What is Swati's present age in years? Don't try to write the equations. There are two conditions already given there. Try to check if there is an option which satisfies both those conditions. See, present age of Manish and his daughter Swati are in what ratio? 9:2. Which means Swati's present age should be a multiple of 2. Yes or no? Swati's present age should be a multiple of 2. What is he asking us to find out? Same thing. Swati's present age in years. So check which options are multiples of 2. Is 8 a multiple of 2? Yes. So possible. Is 5 a multiple of 2? No. Not possible. Is 36 a multiple of 2? Yes. So this can be a possible answer. Is 33 a multiple of 2? No. Is 11 a multiple of 2? No. Look at this. Within 5 seconds, in just 5 seconds, you could eliminate 3 options. 8 and 36 are left out. How did we eliminate 5, 33 and 11? These are all odd values. Swati's present age should be a multiple of 2. 5, 33 and 11 are not multiples of 2. Now, how do you decide between 8 and 36? There is one more condition given with regards to Swati. 2 years hence, the ratio between ages of Richa and Swati will be 7:2. This is not going to help. It's obvious. If present age is a multiple of 2, after 2 years also the age will be a multiple of 2. That's not going to help us because after 2 years this will become 10. This becomes 38. Both are multiples of 2. So the second condition doesn't really help. Now we need to do some work to solve this question. Anyways, the idea is we could eliminate 3 options. How do you do it now? So let's assume option A is correct. Option 1 is correct. That's what I usually do. Instead of solving the equations, even now I would not want to go for equations. Equations are what? M by S equals to 9 by 2. R is equal to M minus 3. And then, R plus 2 by S plus 2 equals to 7 by 2. These are the equations, but I don't want to deal with those equations. Having done this elimination. So what do I do now? I'll assume option A is correct. Let's assume option A is correct, which means Swati is 8 years. If Swati is 8 years, what should be Manish's age? 36 years. Why? The ratio 9:2, right? 36 and 8, the ratio is 9:2. So basically what I understood is 2 parts is equal to 8 years. If 2 parts are 8 years, 1 part is 4 years. So 9 parts would be 36 years. Manish is 36. If Manish is 36, Richa is 33. Yes or no? Because Richa is 3 years younger. Richa is 3 years younger than him. Now 2 years hence the ratio of Richa and Swati. Richa's age after 2 years will be 35. Swati's age after 2 years will be 10. What is the ratio? 35 and 10, the ratio is 7:2 or not? Yes, 35 by 10 is 7 by 2. Does it satisfy the condition? Yes. So option 1 has to be the answer. Why should I write those equations? So what is really traditional is to write those equations and solve. Avoid. I would not say this works 100% of the times, but it works in 98% of the cases, or 99% of the cases, or 99.7% of the cases. Close to 100%. Yeah. So why not try this? Eliminate the wrong answers immediately. You'll be left with 2 options at best. You're lucky if you're left with only 1 option, but if there are 2 options, pick one of those to be right. Assume one of those to be right. Try to fit the bill. You'll know if it fits that conditions given in the question or not. Yeah. Moving on, next question on your screens. Correct? What does it say? The present age, average age of a family of 4 members is 24 years. So there are 4 members, average age is 24. Immediately something should ring in your mind. What is that? Total is 96. You don't have to write it on paper, but you know 4 and 24 meaning total will be 96 years. May or may not be required, but we'll see. 5 times the father's age is 4 times the sum of the ages of mother and son. So write that equation, you can't help. 5 times the father's age. So father is there, mother is there, there's a son. Who's the 4th person? What is the present age of the father? The age of their only daughter. Okay, there's one daughter. So let's assume ages are FMSD. Father, mother, son and daughter. So 5 times the father's age, 5F, is meaning equal to 4 times the sum of the ages of mother and son. 4 times the sum of the ages of mother and son. 4 times of M plus S. What is the present age of the father if the age of their only daughter is 6 years? The age of only daughter. Okay, daughter is 6 years, already known to us. So what is the age of father? F is equal to what? F is equal to what? If the age of the daughter is 6 years. How do you do it? Simple. Let me tell you one thing. We know that total is 96. F plus M. I mean, don't have to write this. Wasting my time. But for your explanation, right? 24 into 4, 96. This is 96. Out of this 96, I know that D is 6. So F plus M plus S. F plus M plus S is 96 minus 6, 90. Just keep this in mind. Total of FMS is 90 years. From this equation, I know that F by M plus S is equal to 4 by 5. That's it. There ends the matter. I would not assume mother and son to be 2 different entities. Let's assume mother and son together are MS. MS. You understand? Simple. F plus MS is 90. The ratio of F and MS is 4:5. He's asking us to find out the present age of father. F is equal to what? What will be the value of F? F is 4 parts out of total 4 plus 5, 9 parts into total value of this F and MS is 90. How much is it? 40. Is it there? Option 1 should be the answer. While he's talking about 4 persons, let's simplify to 3 persons. In fact, only 2 persons. Daughter's age is already known to us, 6 years. Sum is 96. So remaining 3 persons, the sum is 90 if you exclude the daughter. In these remaining 3 persons also, I don't have to really deal with mother and son separately, right? Mother and son are together. Father is the 1 person. So the ratio is 4:5. Sum of mother, father and son is 90. Divided. If you divide 90 in the ratio of 4:5, it will be 40 and 50. Father is 40, mother and son together are 50. Done. Right? Okay. Let's take one more. I think... what should we take? Many such questions actually. Let me find something interesting for you all. Okay, here's the question. Try this. The sum of the ages of father and son is 50 years. The sum of the ages of father and son is 50 years. 8 years ago, the product of their ages was 2 times the father's age at that time. Then their present ages in years of the father and son respectively are. Then present ages of father and son respectively are. Hey, simple. F plus S is equal to 50. Yes or no? Sum of the ages is 50. Look at the options. Is sum of 39 and 6 50? No. Is this 50? No. Is this 50? No. Either it should be 40 and 10 or it should be none of this. You getting it? Either this should be, see, this is not, this is 45, this is 45, this is 45, right? He says sum of the ages of father and son is 50 years. If this also gets eliminated, I'll directly mark option 4. I don't have to worry about the remaining part of the question. Anyways, so 40 and 10 or none of this. Now I have to make sure if 40 is the answer or not. I have to, check if 40 is, option 4 is the answer or not. How do I do? Let's assume option 4 is correct and check the other condition. What is the other condition? If I assume option 4 to be correct, father is 40, son is 10. Now the other condition in the question is 8 years ago. 8 years ago, father was 32 and son was 2. The product of their ages. What is the product of their ages? 8 years ago, 32 into 2, 64. The 64 was 2 times the father's age at the time. 2 times the father's age at the time. What is the father's age at the time? 32. Is it yes or no? Yes. 64 is 2 into 32. Condition satisfied or not? Yes. So option 4 has to be the answer. Are you getting the point? I have assumed option 4 to be correct. According to option 4, father is 40, son is 10. 8 years ago, the ages will be 32 and 2 respectively. 40 minus 8, 10 minus 8. So 32 and 2 respectively. Now he says 8 years ago, the product of the ages, 32 into 2 was 64. This was equal to 2 times the father's age at that time. Father's age at that time was 32. So 2 times of 32 is 64. 64 and 64 balanced? Yes. If it is balanced, then option 4 has to be the answer, right? It is satisfying all the conditions that you have given. You gave me 2 conditions there. Option 4 satisfied both the conditions. That's it. Why would I worry about none of this now? Yeah? Okay. One last question before we call the session today. I'm just wondering which one should I take. It's all the same. Okay, try this. Last question for the session today. Let's see how many of you get it right. Try quick. Got it? Okay, so what does it say? Shubham has 3 kids, 2 boys and a girl, right? Shubham has 3 kids, 2 boys and a girl. The birth dates of all the 3 kids are the same, but the birth years differ from each other. So all 3 were born on the same date. Let's say 3rd November, 3rd November, 3rd November, right? But the years are different, right? Their years are different. The girl's age today is more than the sum of the 2 boys' present ages. So let's assume the ages are G, B1 and B2. So it says the girl's age is more than the sum of the boys' ages. B1 plus B2. Girl's age is more than the sum of the 2 boys' present ages. However, a year from now, after 1 year, the sum of the 2 boys' ages will be equal to the girl's age. So after 1 year, what will happen? Girl's age is G plus 1. This should be equal to boys' age, sum of the boys' ages. After 1 year, the girl's age will be G plus 1. Sum of the two boys' ages, B plus 1 and B1 plus 1 and B2 plus 1 will be equal to the girl's age. This is the equation. What will be the difference between the girl's age and the two boys' combined ages 3 years from now? Interesting question. Try. What will be the difference between the girl's age and the two boys' combined ages 3 years from now? So basically, what does it say? This equation tells us that G is equal to B1 plus B2 plus 1. The girl's present age is 1 year more than the sum of the ages of the boys. Now, the situation is something else now. It says, what will be the difference between the girl's age and the two boys' combined ages 3 years from now? Right? See, what will be the girl's age 3 years from now? G plus 3. Minus the two boys combined ages 3 years from now, it will be B1 plus B2 plus 6. What is this equal to is the question. The difference, you have to find out this difference. What difference? Girl's age 3 years from now and the two boys combined ages 3 years from now. So two boys combined ages 3 years from now. Two present ages are B1 and B2. After 3 years, it will be B1 plus 3 and B2 plus 3. Remember, both the boys will grow. Both the boys would grow, right, by 3 years each. So the sum of their ages will be B1 plus B2 plus 6. Yes or no? Now that's it. We already know that G is equal to B1 plus B2 plus 1, right? Put it here. We know what is G. B1 plus B2 plus 1. So B1 plus B2 plus 1 plus 3 minus B1 plus B2 plus 6. So B1 plus B2, B1 minus B1 plus B2 anyway gets cancelled. 1 plus 3 and 4 minus 6, 2. Minus 2. I mean, we are looking at difference, so magnitude is important. 2 years. Option 4 would be the answer. Option 4 would be the answer. Yes or no? Option 4, 2 years is going to be the answer to this question. See, writing equations is important in this case because otherwise it slightly gets confusing, right? Because there are two boys and when you say after 2 years, generally we have this tendency of writing B1 plus B2 plus 2. But actually it's B1 plus B2 plus 2 plus 2. Both of them have grown, right? Two different persons taken together. So you have to pay attention to these details while, answering such question types. Okay, so the answer to this one is 2 years, and I think with that I would like to close the session here. There's no end to the practice that we can do here. If we have many more questions, we can find out many more questions and keep solving it. But like I said, there's no end. You have to practice it yourself. What matters is you solve questions yourself, then we discussing it together. So I think the takeaway from today's session is that this topic on ages is really easy. Right, you can expect one question or two questions at best in your exam, but the concept that we have used here, using ratios and options together to see which one satisfies the given condition, right, the elimination technique basically is very, very useful. So try and understand this concept thoroughly and use not just in case of problems on ages but also other problems where you think you can apply these, right, and make your life simple. Why put on a pen on paper when you can do it mentally, right? And elimination is a powerful technique, understand. So that's the idea, and with that note, let me close the session here. Thank you all for joining us. I hope all of you have enjoyed this. Please share this video with your friends if you've liked it, and do subscribe to our channel to get more updates on such videos that we upload and live classes that we do, right? We'll meet again with the next live session soon. Stay tuned and keep practicing for your upcoming exam, and do take very good care of yourselves. Bye.